Hello and welcome to Deepdale Podcast, May 2023. We're almost halfway through the year, can't quite believe it really, and we're very definitely into the early stages of summer, although the weather hasn't quite been told. I'm really pleased to say that we welcome 3 different interviewees to the Deepdale Podcast this month. I start with a chat with Iona Lane, who is coming to play a gig in the Brick Barn at the end of May, on the 27th of May. And then I chat with my sister Anna, who is going to give us some updates on Deepdale Farm and the organic status and the way that the various countryside craft courses are developing, and particularly on Open Farm Sunday, which is a brilliant free event that you should come along to and learn more about farming generally. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is Chris getting very excited about the Deepdale Festival lineup, the incredible Deepdale Festival lineup that he has put together with amazing artists. Yet again, he seems to outdo himself each year. So I won't spoil that excitement because Chris, as you know, can get very passionate about these wonderful artists. Enjoy the listen. Please do subscribe. Please do tell anybody you know about our podcast. And you should be able to find it on any decent podcast app. Just search for Deepdale Podcast and enjoy a listen. Thanks very much for joining us.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, fistful of sandfire, sea, lavender, see you next year.
So it's Deepdale Podcast. It's May. We have a fantastic gig coming up at the end of this month. It's a bank holiday weekend. It's a very relaxed time. And Iona Lane is coming to join us. She is an artist, one of the many artists that Chris sees when he travels around and sees gigs. But he's been wanting to host Iona at Deepdale for a while. And this is his moment. So she's coming to play on the 27th of May. It's going to be fantastic. Brick Barn gig. You're bringing a band, is that right?
Yes, I have another musician with me. We're coming as a duo.
Fantastic.
A wonderful musician called Mal and Lewis. They're a fiddler, piper, and whistle player. So it's going to be a big variety of instruments on stage.
Fantastic. So only 2 of you, but a massive range of things. So
Yeah,
we should say a proper hello, Iona. Welcome to the Deepdale Podcast.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. So you're staying up north at the moment in between gigs, is that right?
Yeah, I've very recently started the main bulk of my touring. So I'm staying with my parents, who are sort of on the Lancashire, North Yorkshire border at the moment, and I don't know whether you can hear outside, but all the birds are tweeting away.
Fantastic. And are you well into the tour? Have you got quite a few dates left? Is it leading through till the end of May or further beyond?
Yeah, so I'm essentially pretty full until the end of May, and then playing some gigs in the Highlands in June, which is going to be really lovely. But yeah, I've done three gigs so far, and I guess this is my first sort of proper big chunk of touring since COVID, and it's really nice. I feel very alive already, because for me, going and playing gigs that's the bit I really love. I really love that process of like sharing stories and music with people and having stories and music given back to me as well. Sort of sort of chatting to people after gigs and them coming up and being like, oh, that really resonated with me, or oh, have you come across this, or check this band out, and that sort of process of sharing with the audience is just really, really beautiful.
That's fantastic. And how long have you been doing music for? Is it something that you've always done, kind of right from a small child, or is it something that you've kind of developed later on in life?
Good question. So I had singing lessons going through secondary school, and I decided to take GCSE music. And at that point, my teacher, he was essentially like, oh, you should listen to Joni Mitchell and Nick Drake and John Martin. And,
Good choices.
Yeah, and have you considered like accompanying yourself? Because I was training classically at the time, but I think he could hear that I had quite folky elements in my voice. And from that sort of point, I sort of picked up guitar then. So I guess I was sort of 15, 16, when I sort of really started going, okay, I'm going to write some songs now. And then it just sort of happened really naturally, really organically. And then it was like, oh, I have to decide if I'm going to uni, and if I am, what am I going to study? And then that sort of like progressed into, oh, okay, I'm going to go do music, which wasn't I was going to originally study chemistry, so quite different.
Quite a change. Yeah, that's very definitely, yeah.
But it was just like, it just kind of happened really naturally, and it was like, okay, that is where I'm going, and that's what I'm doing with my life, kind of thing.
Yeah. Excellent. That's fantastic. And the process of writing for you, like, can you see the song being performed, or is it something that kind of just tidbits come together? How does the process work for you? I find it fascinating how everybody different. Some people seem to write in seconds, and other people it takes months, years work.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely songs that can, like, I might sit down and they'll happen in the space of 20 minutes, and it's like, whoa, a song out of nowhere. But then there's also, I guess, the majority of my writing is stems from like stories or places I've visited in that have sort of strong links to the natural world, and it might be like a bit of folklore that I discovered when I was out walking in the hills, kind of thing. And I tend to sit on those ideas for quite a long time. So I have like a whole bank of things that I possibly want to write about, and I spend a lot of time like sifting through books or through the internet, trying to find information about different places and the stories that come from those places. And if I've been out in a landscape that I really enjoy, that normally like draws me in to concentrate on a certain thing, a certain aspect of a place. And then I suppose it probably takes me a couple of years really to like go from having initial ideas of, oh, this would make a good song, or I think I could do something with this, to finding a guitar part that I think does the sentiment and the piece justice, to then writing lyrics, to then being able to perform it. So it is like quite a long, it feels like a long process.
Yeah.
But it's nice when it finally lands on its feet and I have something new and ready to go. And I know a lot of songwriters tend to write like they have loads and loads and loads of songs on the go at once. But I'm quite different in that sense. Like I might be working on one or two things, and I tend to only really finish something if I'm sort of wholeheartedly convinced that it's going to be good.
Yeah,
it's going to be good. Because I find writing is quite challenging for me.
Yeah, interesting. And how was lockdown stuff? Was that an incredibly frustrating creative time, or was it a very productive creative time?
It was definitely a mix. I guess, like I was saying earlier, for me, gigging is what I really, really love. So obviously that couldn't happen. And but it was really nice to have the space to be like, okay, I could try something new, or learn some new folk songs and write some more music. So I had a couple of sort of commissions come in around that time as well, which was really nice. They gave me deadlines, which was very
Always
important
useful
during lockdown.
Yeah.
And sort of like, oh, I'll just finish that tomorrow kind of thing. Well, so yeah, it was good. And actually some of the songs that I'm most happy with came from having either an external deadline or from having that space during COVID to sort of sit down and be like, okay, what am I actually saying a bit more here?
Yeah. What emotions do you go through when you're prepping to go on stage? Do you get sort of stage fright and then that becomes kind of like just exhilaration, or are you just very confident when you step up on that stage? I'm always fascinated in that.
Yeah, it really depends actually. So I was thinking the first 3 gigs that I did on this first little leg of my tour, going into the first gig I was quite nervous, but not. I wouldn't say it was like, it wasn't really intense to the extent where I thought it affected my performance. And but then the other gigs, it's like, no, this just feels really natural now, and this is really this is just what I do. And I think I've just reached quite a nice point where it's like, okay, for most gigs, I just feel really comfortable going on stage and chatting to people before, and that's a really nice place to be. I mean, there are definitely still some gigs, some sort of bigger gigs, or some gigs where, you know, there might be someone that I know is really important in the audience,
Yeah.
where I'm like trying to control the nerves. But yeah, generally it's just I feel excited before going on stage and sort of almost chomping at the bit, ready to perform, I guess.
That's cool. Excellent. So what can people expect from your gig on the 27th of May? What are they coming to see if they're coming up to Deepdale?
Yeah, so I suppose, like I was saying earlier, a lot of my songs are inspired by landscapes and the environment and folktales and how humans fit into that. And so yeah, you'll hear a lot of songs about different places that I've travelled to, generally around the UK, and sort of wild landscapes, and that kind of vibe. There'll be lots of storytelling, and I might ask the audience to sing along at a few points as well.
Excellent.
If they like. Yeah, and I'm going to be accompanied by Mel and Lewis, who, like I was saying, they're an amazing fiddle player and piper from the Highlands. So it's really lovely to have them with me as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be really lovely. I think it's going to be
Well,
lots.
the people who come to stay with us and come to our gigs are that sort of wonderful mix of music lovers and outdoor enthusiasts. So your music could not be more perfectly suited to that kind of that situation. So they get to enjoy fantastic music, and it's all about these amazing landscapes that they get to see. So I think that'll be it's going to be a perfect combination, really, and really looking forward to you coming to play. Have you ever played in Norfolk before? Are you a regular to the county?
I have played in Norwich,
Uh-huh.
Which that is in Norfolk, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's our capital. It's our capital and our
I
sometimes good and sometimes awful football team. So yes. Yeah.
But apart from that, I haven't actually, and it's going to be really exciting and lovely to explore. And I'll be looking for recommendations for places to go walking and what I should be seeing and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be it's very new for me, and that's exciting. And yeah, that's also one of the really cool bits about being a musician, is just traveling around and being able to gig in beautiful places and lapping up different landscapes and different sort of bits of geography, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be lots of fun.
I think you'll be quite inspired by heading up to somewhere like Gun Hill and looking over the Holcombe Bay and seeing the sort of the curve of Holcombe Bay and, you know, the changing tides and stuff. I think that probably would suit your romantic artistic side quite well.
Yes,
so
most
I
likely.
think I highly recommend that. It's for anybody who's not walked up Gun Hill and looked at Holcombe Bay. It's a beautiful place, and it's and you can get to see the full glory as enjoyed by Gwyneth Paltrow in Romeo, was it Shakespeare in Love, when she takes a walk along the beach. So there you go. And
Nice.
I think it's been in a video for is it Pure Shores by one of the girl bands. Yeah, it's been in a few things. It's a very beautiful place. So hopefully that will inspire you, and you'll be able to get some writing off the back of visiting us. So we're really looking forward to you performing. It'd be fantastic. If anybody's interested in coming along, just head to deepdalemusic.co.uk. You'll find Iona and all our other gigs listed on there. Click on the link and it'll tell you about booking tickets. Tickets are £10 if you're staying with us and £12 if you are not staying with us and staying locally. We really look forward to you coming along. As you can hear, Iona's music is going to be absolutely perfect for the Brick Barn and Deepdale, and we're really looking forward to having you with you. And I hope the rest of the tour goes fantastically well.
Thanks very much. I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Iona. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Farm chat.
I'm chatting with my sister Anna. She's going to tell us about what's going on the farm, because there is a very large growing program of events happening on the farm, not least Open Farm Sunday, which is next month. So how are you doing, sis?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yes, been busy. I'm trying to currently submit our government forms in for our...
Oh, the joys of the RPA forms.
Yes.
Excellent.
Tackling the government IT systems.
Yeah, it's a different level of... Anybody who has to deal with HMRC or any of the other government gateways, you feel our pain. And it's a different world, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So there you go.
The deadline is midnight on Monday, so by Tuesday it's over.
Yeah, it's either done or it's not.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. So tell us a bit more about what's going on the farm. Where are things developing?
Yeah, so we've been busy developing a range of events, mainly based up at our Downs Barn complex, which we had funding to make a few improvements to last year from the Farming in Protected Landscapes Fund. But our biggest one is our Open Farm Sunday on the 11th of June. So anybody staying in the area is very welcome to come. It is a free event for the whole family. This is the third year that we've been running it, and yeah, we're kind of learning what works, what doesn't work. So it's a very similar setup to last year. We'll be open from 10 till 4, and we've kind of split it into 2 sessions. Although if you're just coming to do the stuff in the farmyard, then it's pretty fluid. Which one when you come. So the first session is sort of 10 till 1. And the second session is 1 till 4. And there will be a farm walk in both of those. So the first one will depart at 11 a.m. and the second one will depart at 2 p.m. The farm walk is not compulsory at all. And we would suggest that it's best for ages 12 plus. But if you've got a very keen walker and they're very keen to learn about the farm, then, that's totally at your discretion. But my last year 3-year-old and 5-year-old were not that keen. So we got to the first gate and their dad took them back. However, they did love climbing into the combine, sitting in the tractor. We had Estelle doing some owl pellet dissection. So we have quite a few barn owls on the farm. Last year we had 3 female owlets and 3 male owlets, and their parents are very busy creating owl pellets in a lot of different places around the farm. So the kids can, well, and adults too, can have a go, taking those apart, seeing what bones and skulls and teeth and things they can find. It sounds gruesome, but the kids in particular absolutely love it. Although, I think a lot of the adults got quite keen and involved with it last year as well.
And you find a whole kind of like mouse's skull and stuff. I just think it's incredible. It's amazing,
it's
really.
so
It's
cool.
Fascinating. Yeah.
So we're also going to have Norfolk Rivers Trust there, and they'll be talking about their work, and they're going to have an invertebrate tank with water from our dikes down on the marsh. So we'll be able to see what's in those. Hopefully we'll have a woodworking demonstration from Richard again. We're also going to have Heath Farmhouse, who have a few hives on the farm. They are going to be there with their honey stand, so you can learn all about honeybees and have delicious local honey to buy. And so those are the main things really. So whether you're coming with kids or you're coming with adults, you can bring your dog as long as it's on a lead. It's a lovely walk up round the farm with amazing views over Brancaster Harbour and Scolthead Island. So hopefully the weather will be kind to us like it was last year.
Yeah, it was beautiful last year. And it am I right in thinking it's free event, but you are asking people to register online so that you've got an idea of who's coming.
Exactly. And if you look on the farm website, then there is there's a whole page about Open Farm Sunday. And the other thing we are having, so we're also going to have the Lambsdales there, who have been doing bird ringing on the farm for the last couple of years, and they are going to do a session in the morning. And so I think at 9 a.m. they are going to do a small session for about 10 people of bird ringing up in one of our wooded areas, Hilly Peace. So I shall put that on as a separate session that people can book into. But if you're keen to understand how bird ringing happens and find out a little bit more about birds on the farm, then that's a really good session to come to as well, which will also be free.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. So that's Open Farm Sunday. For anybody who hasn't got the date in their diary, it's the 11th of June. If you're not near Deepdale, look out for other farms that are open, because it's a big national event organised by Leaf. Definitely worth coming along. You can visit the farm, you can see areas that aren't normally open to the public. You can get to meet the team from the farm, you can see the kit that they're doing, you can learn about what's happening on the farm, and it's a really interesting visit. Great for all ages, really worth coming along to. And if you want any information or to book on, just head to deepdalefarm.co.uk and follow the links.
So our next event that we've got is our willow weaving. So last year we had the Coddywomplers who came and visited the farm and did two sessions, a morning and an afternoon, creating various bird feeders and bird houses. And this time there is a morning session which is currently full, and then an afternoon session making a decorative boat tray. And they were really popular, and most of the tickets have sold so quickly. So just 2 remaining for that afternoon session. So that's on the 20th of May. And then we have got some introduction to green woodworking sessions with Richard Rood. So one is on the 10th of, that's Saturday, the 10th of June, and the other is the 2nd of July. And there are spaces available on both of those. You don't have to have any previous experience.
And that's using the pole lathes, is it? That's kind of creating
using the draw knife and the pole lathe. He'll take you through the properties of green wood. He'll explain everything that you need to know, and you might go home with a relatively straight rolling pin or a rounder's bat or something like that. Those courses have been really popular, and we've not had any for a couple of months. So
they are very popular, and it's great. He's such a good instructor. He's so calming, and he's so passionate about what he does. It's just fantastic, really. So I love that that's sprung out of kind of him coming along to the Christmas market and the pop-up shops, and then it sort of developed from there. So it's a really nice spin-off
Yeah.
from Dalegate Market to the farm and develop from there. It's great. Excellent. So is there other stuff coming up that you haven't yet announced, or are you working on those dates?
Yes. So, well, we are working with a new company called Reveal Nature, and they are offering kind of alternative nature walks. So we had our first test one just over the first May bank holiday, which was a biofluorescent night walk, which was brilliant. Apparently, snails and wildflowers and things look absolutely incredible in fluorescent light. So David has been coming over to the farm and working out what walks and talks and things he can do. So there will be more dates for the biofluorescent night walk coming up from July onwards. And then he also has Microscopic Marvels, which is taking a magnifying glass, and he has some that can attach to your phone, so that then you can take the pictures of what you're seeing, and you're looking at whether it's bark or leaves. You're just looking at them in a totally different way using the microscope. He also does forest bathing sessions and aromatic adventures. So we've got a whole program with him in the pipeline. So we're just confirming dates. So please look out for those, because the feedback from the first biofluorescent walk was really, really positive. And we had lots of people who unfortunately weren't able to do it because he could only take a certain amount of people with the number of torches that he had. So there are a few disappointed people who hopefully will be able to coordinate visits to Deepdale in the next few months.
And I've got to ask, what's forest bathing?
It's being out in nature. While it says it's forest bathing, sometimes you might be out in the open, but kind of with trees surrounding you. And it's just very peaceful and, calming, and it's supposed to be incredibly good for your health and well-being. Okay,
well, there you go. You've heard it here. So yeah, keep an eye out. All of the dates for all of the Deepdale Farm events will be on the website, deepdalefarm.co.uk. Anna and I keep adding those dates in as things get confirmed, and we include them in our newsletter that goes out from the tourism business. And also there's a link on the website to sign up for the farm newsletter as well. So if you want something specific. And it was really fab. The other day, Anna and Fiona welcomed a whole load of local farmers, like Norfolk farmers, with a Norfolk flag walk around the farm, which was such a fantastic event. So must have been 65 farmers or so?
Yeah, so we had 65 farmers, and it was organised by FWAG, that is the Farming and Wildlife Advisory Group. And it was supported by Norfolk Rivers Trust. So yeah, it was a walk around the farm explaining our farming techniques now, our conversion to organic, the work that Norfolk Rivers Trust had done to help when we had very serious flooding in 2020, and then showing off Downs Barn, and also explaining about the invertebrate survey that we've had, which will be on the website soon. I've done a summary, might be there next week.
It's quite a big document, so we're just working out how to put it onto the website in a sensible way. Yes.
But if you are interested in invertebrates, then keep on the lookout on the farm website very soon, because it was a really interesting survey. But that again was funded by Farming in Protected Landscapes. So yeah, it was a great walk, and a beautiful evening, although very chilly easterly wind, but the tide was in, the sun was shining. So yeah, it was showing off Deepdale in its best light, I think.
Pretty amazing views. Yeah, and I know you put some photos onto the Facebook page and stuff from that, didn't you? So yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thank you, sis. That's really, really fantastic, and we'll have another update from you in due course. But keep an eye out for those events, and keep heading to deepdalefarm.co.uk and see all the events that the farm's putting on. There's some really fantastic stuff there. Thank you.
No worries. Bye.
So you're listening to the Deepdale Podcast. Thanks for continuing to listen. You've just heard from Iona Lane, who is playing with us at the end of May in the Brick Barn, her own standalone gig as part of her national tour. And then the next big event in our music calendar, after what is always a slightly busy summer, is Deepdale Festival, which is taking place from the Thursday the 21st of September to Sunday the 24th of September. I am with Chris, who we all know is the real brains behind the Deepdale Festival, particularly the programme that's of incredible music. And now got a really positive relationship with a huge number of promoters and managers who see Deepdale Festival as being a fantastic place to send their artists to perform. So Chris is going to get excited, as you know he does, about some of these amazing artists. How are you doing, sir?
All right, thanks. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm very excited about this lineup. It's growing exponentially, and we've got so much more to talk about than we did have in May last year. So you just always seem to get further ahead with your programming than each year, which is great.
Yeah, not always, but yeah, no, I'm very, very happy with the lineup for this year's festival. It's almost there now. There's a few little slots left to fill, but I always like to do that as we get a little bit closer.
You like to keep me guessing with the website.
Yeah, a tiny bit, but no, I'm blown away by the lineup. I know I say this every year, but I think this year is just the best lineup. I think it's absolutely fantastic when you look at the headliners that we've got coming up and the artists further down the bill. We've just got some incredible musical talent for this festival coming up. Absolutely amazing, really, really amazing. I'm so pleased. You know, where do you want to start? It's
the logical thing is to start Thursday night.
Yeah.
But I've always tried to get you to logically work your way through the program, and then you notice a name and you get very excited about that, and we jump all over the place. So I'm not worried. I think you've got some bands you really want to chat about. So you start where you feel like you'd like to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, wherever we've got Thursday. I'm really, really pleased that we've got Catherine Williams coming back to us after last year's solo visit. She's bringing her band this year, and the sound of her latest album, Night Drives, performed as it should be heard with a live band, is one of the things that you shouldn't miss in your life. You know, she is the loveliest person on the UK music scene, let's be honest.
She's really lovely, yeah.
But the Night Drives album is a critical masterpiece. It is absolutely fantastic, and if you're not here for the Thursday night, you're gonna wish you had been. And coming along with Catherine is Polly Paulsma, who they're touring together. So it's in the middle of their national tour, Big Sky tour, that they're working sort of, I think, alternating a bit, sort of solo sets and a bit together. So Polly's going to come along and open the Thursday night, and she's a critically acclaimed UK songwriter in her own right, absolutely brilliant. And so really, really looking forward to the Thursday night. That's going to be fantastic, and kicking us off in the way that we would like to kick it off, I think. Friday, the headliners, if we want to go through the next few days, we've got Morganway back, who haven't been with us for a few years, and they've got a brand new album out now, Back to Zero, which is amazing.
It's really great.
And it's knocking on the door of the UK album chart. So if anyone feels like helping them bump into that list, then now's the time to get out and buy a copy or download a copy. That would be amazing. And then below them on the Friday, over in the Orchard, closing out the Orchard, we've got Michelle Stoddart of Magic Numbers fame, with her own band coming along. She's got some solo stuff that she's been doing for a little while, so she's coming along.
I'm quite chuffed, because me and Sheila went to see Magic Numbers in the Arts Centre, and we realised that we normally have more people in the Brick Barn than they often have in the Arts Centre, and I said to you, it's so good to get these guys to Deepdale. And you've now got Michelle coming, so that is fantastic, really fantastic.
No, I'm exceptionally pleased that Michelle's coming along. So that those two alone, they're just you don't want to miss them. And then on Saturday, we've got the utterly brilliant Leisure Society, which I don't know how, I honestly don't know how we hadn't picked up on them until about 4 or 5 years ago. I have no idea, because they were such a revelation. Sheila and I were packing to move house from Norwich, and we wanted a little bit of diversion on a night, and we ummed and ahed, or Sheila ummed and ahed, about going along to the Arts Centre to see them. And we'd never seen them before, and they just blew us away. Absolutely blew us away, and picked up all of their stuff, all of their musical output in one go, and have loved it ever since. They've got an album coming. They're sort of twirling around on social media at the moment about it, but they've got an album coming, and we are absolutely stoked to have them on the Saturday night. So that will be fantastic, just fantastic. Cutthroat Francis are coming along after having to cancel last year. They are rebooked in this year to take out the Orchard stage for us on the Saturday before Leisure Society. So they'll be tearing that up with their Balkan rhythms and getting everyone dancing over there. And then on the Sunday, Sunday's going to be a delight. We've got India Electric Company coming to us on the Sunday to close out the festival. And they are electrifying as a trio. They are fantastic, and they're out on tour at the moment with Midure, and having a great time in the venues that he plays, larger venues. So that'll be really exciting to have them in the Brick Barn. Closing out the Orchard on the Sunday is Mishra, who I know Mark had pushed my way, our logistics director. He'd pushed my way, and they're Eastern influenced with their rhythms and their tunes, so they'll be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I think that the headlining acts I'm really, really pleased with, and then on below them we've just got some brilliant musicians. We've got the obligatory Moseley Folk Festival find for us. That's Jacob and Drinkwater, who we saw a couple of years ago now at Moseley, and they were just amazing. The quality of their songwriting and the duo, the vocals are just incredible, and brilliant instrumentation, just lovely. Their album More Notes from the Field has been one of my sort of top 10 albums in our little annual lists, and I'm really, really pleased that they're coming, really pleased. And we've got Georgia Shackleton coming back to showcase her set of solo Norfolk folk songs, which she's played a little taster of for us here in the Brick Barn earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But coming back for a full set of those, which will be great. And Bleeding Hearts, Deepdale Friends coming back.
Who you played with.
I did. They're bringing their own drummer this time. I have been assured.
Well, to be fair, they were supposed to be bringing their own drummer last time.
Yeah, they were. Medical emergencies. And so, no, I have been assured they're bringing their own drummer, so they will sound as they're meant to sound, not as I helped them sound. So that'll be great. And then, we've got singer-songwriters galore, really, really quality. Chris Cleverley coming along on Saturday, Annie Dressner coming along on Saturday, really brilliant performers. And then on Sunday, in that vein, we've got Robert Vincent, who we saw supporting Catherine over in Hull. He's coming along with his trio, and really pleased that Amelia Coburn has now confirmed that she's coming along on Sunday. Great sort of folk pop sensibilities, and that'll be really great. So loads more beyond that, but I think that's sort of enough to be going on with. I could carry on chatting for ages. We've got some young up and coming sort of songwriters. We've got India Arkin, HMV's first unsigned artist, coming along. We've got local chap Alex Hawkins from Norwich with his band, and that I'm really looking forward to hearing their sound. Heard their stuff online, and really looking forward to that. And then we haven't got Man the Lifeboats this year, but we have got Aaron from Man the Lifeboats coming along with his partner Nick Good, his songwriting partner, and they're going to be playing over in the courtyard on Sunday. They're more traditional folk stuff, but that'll be great. And we've got Kitewing, the collaboration between the Shackleton Trio, Alden and Patterson, Christina and Alex, so that'll be great, one not to miss. And we've also got Jason Wick from Little Red Kings with his current project, the Feathered Thorns, which that will be really interesting.
That's him and his wife, is that right?
Him and his songwriting partner, so gotcha. yeah, that'll be lovely. And more local stuff to come. Tin Heart Troubadours back, Adam Clark with his folk song set, and Joe Keeley with his band coming back, so blues rock as well. So pretty eclectic, I think. I'm really, really pleased with how the lineup is mapping out.
And then Alton Wilberg arranges, in terms of local bands, he arranges his AWM TV thing on Sunday morning on the Orchard. So there's always some interesting bands that come out of that.
Yeah, Alton's
some who come back to us later on as artists in their own right, which is really nice.
They do. So it's great what Alton does, and he'll be bringing along a selection of artists on the Sunday over in the Orchard again,
And the way he does that is basically these are artists that he thinks should be recognised, but they don't have enough songs really to do a kind of a full set often. And so what he does is he gives them an opportunity to perform the songs that they do have as part of a sort of a smaller programme, and it works really, really well. So it's just really nice to see them finding their feet, from a sort of live performance point of view. And often they, not long afterwards, they're back here with kind of a much fuller programme of their own music, which is fab.
Yeah, he's done for a long time now a lot of great work in mentoring and helping artists get their stuff recorded, produced and performed out there, giving them a showcase to get to a wider audience, which is great, is great, and all power to him, because everyone needs as much help as they can get on the scene these days. It's not easy in the slightest coming out of the pandemic and getting out there, getting gigs. People are not buying tickets in advance as much, they're not going out quite as much, all the support that can be provided is I think incredibly valuable and welcome.
So if you haven't ever come to Deepdale Festival before, then the way it works is we do live music on Thursday evening, which, as Chris has mentioned, is Catherine Williams and Polly Paulsma. And then we do music all day on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So, it's well worth being here for all of it. You can buy individual day tickets if you wanted to. You can buy a weekend ticket. And we do have a tiny amount of accommodation left in terms of non-electric pitches and that kind of thing. But if you are interested, it's probably best to give us a call and have a chat about what's left. Telephone number 01485 210 256. That's 01485 210 256. Or for any information on bands, tickets, anything like that, head to deepdalefestival.co.uk. That's deepdalefestival.co.uk, and you'll find information about all the bands. We add to that all the time, so there's bands added all the time. We try and put a bit of text about them. We put links to their social media and their websites. The idea being that the longevity of Deepdale Festival is that you can discover artists, you can enjoy those artists, and you can continue your relationship with those artists beyond just their performance here at Deepdale. And you'll find all the back catalogues of artists who've performed at previous years as well, which people seem to really like. They can go back and say, "Oh, I'm sure I saw a band on the Brick Barn, in the Brick Barn on this festival," and they go back and they can find them, and then they can gather some more information from them. So it's a really nice way of working with it. Prices to come along start at about £15 per adult. Depends on kind of which days you want to come and that sort of thing. But do take a look. It's not an expensive festival for the incredible artists that we have performed, and Chris has done a fantastic job at pulling together the programme for this year, and as he says, it's not quite finished, but it's pretty much there, and the team are really looking forward to you coming and joining us. Is there anything else you wanted to sort of mention about the festival? Any other bits that you wanted to sort of join in?
I can talk all day, I think the key thing for me about it is that it was born from a desire to showcase the musical talents that we have in East Anglia. That's where I've always come from with the music events that I've arranged, and it is now a mix of that together with some more well-known names that are either from East Anglia and pushing out nationally, like Morgan Way, or who are more established artists, and that the way we look to look after them and to promote their music, we don't take any commission on merch sales. We've never done that, and we would never do that. It's the right way to be. Allows us, I think, to attract artists that we think people would like to hear over in Norfolk. And we actually just need to ask for your support. If you're in Norfolk, if you're in the local area, now is the time to think, okay, it's about time we went up to the North Norfolk Coast and supported this little festival that it's completely self-funded. We put it together, and we'd love to see you. We've sold more than enough tickets to run it. We know it'll run, and it's time to come along, have a great weekend, last sort of festival of the year, and we'll look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's hugely important to recognise that the great thing about the festival is that people will see someone like the Leisure Society on the programme, Catherine Williams, Morgan Way, India Electric Company, and they'll go, right, we want to go and see them. But by coming to see them, they also get to see a load of other really interesting artists, and they'll get to support local artists, and everything from the Toast Poetry through to to people like Georgia and Adam who are all local. So yeah, please do join us. I think we can guarantee a fantastic weekend of incredible live music, and we really hope you'll join us. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I look forward to the ongoing updates I need to do on the website with the various extra bands that you add in and join. So
yeah, not too many left now. There's a few that we haven't quite got to mention who are already on the programme, so check them out on the website. Chad Mason's lovely, Sakash, our friend Nikki from over in Birmingham and her band. Brighter Than, our friends from over in the middle of the country. Brian Stone over in the Midlands, the trio there. So yeah, loads of stuff. Come and see us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Skies all open wide, geese go high and over. Oh, now you're a beachcomber, fistful of sandfire, sea, lavender, sea.